Hey everybody, this is Nostalgia Rewind. I'm West.
And I'm Kris.
And today we're going to be watching Rat Race.
Rat Race.
Yes. I've seen this movie once, so I know they're racing for something. There's a variety of people in it. Whoopi Goldberg. Bean? Is that his name? Is that his stage name?
No, that was just a character he played. His name is Rowan Atkinson.
Rowan Atkins. To me...
Rowan Atkinson?
Atkinson? Well, look him up. He should be in the beginning.
There's a lot of people in this movie. I don't know if you realize that or not. Where is he? Mr. Bean. Atkinson. It's Atkinson.
So Rowan Atkinson is in it, which I always thought his name was just Bean. Kind of like a Cher or a Madonna.
Cuba Gooding Jr.? Well, I can go through. Do you want me to go through before we do?
Yes.
Go into this stuff. So, of course, spoilers ahead.
And the synopsis is?
This is a Las Vegas casino owner determined to find a new avenue for wagering sets up a race for money. And it's starring everybody and their mom. I'm just kidding. Brecken Meyer, Janica Berger, Cuba Gooding Jr., Carrie Diamond, Douglas Haas, Seth Green, Vince Valouf, Lainey Chapman, Whoopi Goldberg, John Lovitz, Kathy. She's in everything million things that we've watched, and I still can't pronounce her last name. Najimy, Kathy,
We're so sorry.
I love you, Kathy. Who else? Rowan Atkinson, John Cleese, Thomas, and like a bunch of other people. There's just a ton of people.
A lot of people
in this movie.
So from what I remember of this movie is a lot of people are in it and they're racing for something. Money, and they're all trying to get there, and it's a comedy that ensues. And I think what was interesting about this movie when I watched it was that, I don't know, it was all sorts of different comedy styles, because it's different comedians being funny. Right, and they're on their own, like, not like a solo adventure, but like. But
they do all split up because everybody is pinned against each other essentially, and a couple of them do team up. But you have like Seth Green's character and Vince, whatever his name was, they're brothers, so the two of them are off doing stuff, and then Whoopi Goldberg's character, who just was reunited with her daughter that she like gave up for adoption years ago, or whatever. The two of them are together looking for the money. Rowan Atkinson is by himself, but he's narcoleptic, so he just falls asleep.
Comedy ensues.
Yeah. So, and then John Lovitz is with Kathy Najimy, whatever, and they're married and they have kids, so they're a family doing it. So yeah, there's just a whole bunch of different types of characters off on their own journey but with the same goal.
Yeah, it came out in 2001, and I think it's gonna hold up pretty well. I feel like this is going to be a somewhat wholesome movie. I don't think there'll be too many questionable things in it, but I think it'll hold up. I remember liking it when I saw it, and I remember everybody that I talked to liking it. I don't remember anybody saying that Rat Race sucked. Like, I definitely don't remember any negative aspect of it. And I think the ratings on it, on Rotten Tomatoes, are pretty high, too. Not that that matters, but overall, it's a well-received movie.
Yeah. I remember loving it the year that it came out. I thought it was hilarious. I think we may have even bought it. Like, I think my whole family thought it was hilarious. I think the funniest thing that I remember most about this movie is that there's a scene where, and my brother's gonna be so mad I'm saying this, but there's a scene where Seth Green and his brother are driving and they pass like a convertible with girls or like a bus with girls or something, and the girls flash them.
Woo!
And yeah,
scandalous.
And you don't. It's not like head on. You don't see, or face on, whatever. You don't see their boob. But you get a little side boob.
Side boob was
going on.
Was almost like normal boob when you're a kid.
Yeah, my brother was 3, 4 maybe. I think he was 3 when this movie came out. And he would put it on when nobody was awake yet, like, because he would always wake up super early in the morning. And he would just put that scene on and put it on repeat.
What a scoundrel.
As a 3-year-old. I love you, Josh.
Also, as a 3-year-old, I mean, you're freshly off breastfeeding, right?
You didn't breastfeed, but I guess, maybe, I don't know.
Like, okay. Maybe he was hungry.
Maybe.
He was like, "What?" It's like, you salivate for food on television. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I mean, this is the kid that also would wake up really early in the morning and put on Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back without any of us finding out.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I was upset because I wasn't allowed to watch that movie, and then my 3-year-old brother watched it.
And it was cute when he watched it.
Yeah, it was real cute when he sings the song. Anyways, we're getting on topic. But I was upset. That was not fair.
So this movie, they're racing. I think it's like probably going to be wholesome fun.
Is there anything that you remember, like any scenes?
Oh, man, all I remember are scenes like, what's his name? Atkinson?
Rowan Atkinson.
Rowan, yeah, just in a car. The bigger guy, he has glasses. Oh, man. Anyway,
this will be fun.
I don't remember much of the movie. I just know that there's a car scene, obviously, because they have to drive places. Obviously. But honestly, I can't think of any jokes, like any jokes at all, any punchlines, any.
That's so funny.
I can't think of any of them. But I'm sure it's great. What do you remember?
Well, obviously that scene that I just mentioned, I remember. There's Seth Green's brother's character is he pierced his own tongue. Which, never do that. You have an artery in your tongue, and if you hit that, you'll bleed to death.
You can die.
Definitely don't pierce your own tongue.
Let the professionals at the mall do it.
No, but professionals, yes.
I'm just kidding. They don't know what malls are.
That's fair. And it's swollen and like black, so he can't talk throughout the whole movie, and you don't understand him. It's kind of like watching South Park and not knowing what Kenny's saying, but his friends know. So like Seth Green knows what he's saying, obviously. And then there's a part where when they first release everybody to go, Rowan Atkinson is like downstairs in the lobby of the hotel, and of course the owner of the hotel and like all his, not friends, but I guess colleagues or whatever, who are betting on this, because that's all this is the rich people are betting on who's gonna get to the money first. They're watching, and they see him, and he just falls asleep before he even goes and gets his key from the locker or whatever it is that he's supposed to be doing. And one of the colleagues is upset because he's like, "Oh, I bet a lot of money on him," and he's asleep.
Yeah,
it's a joke.
Don't remember. These are not even ringing a bell.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a scene where John Lovitz and Kathy Najimy's kid has to poop, and he will not pull over.
Oh, I remember. I remember a joke. The joke is that he's groundhogging it or parry-dogging it.
Yes.
And
he makes her put her butt out the window and poop out the window.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, parry-dogging is when you're holding it in and like the poop is just coming out, and then you like suck it back in. It's really disgusting. I shouldn't have described that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have.
Cut this out.
Nope, I'm leaving it. And then some other things. But funny enough, I can't remember who wins. I don't remember how the movie ends.
Good.
Yeah.
So no spoilers for us.
But I think for the most part it's still gonna be funny. I think it's still gonna hold up generally. Like
a 2000s comedy.
Yeah, but I mean that doesn't say anything. Scary Movie was also 2001.
Oh yeah.
As well. Yeah. So, but I don't think it's gonna be on that level. I think if there is anything in it that's questionable or offensive to today's time, it's going to be few and far between. I'm hoping, at least. So I think mostly the movie's going to be okay and still be good.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I don't know what else.
We're just going to have to watch it.
We're going to have to watch it. All right. So I guess let's do that now.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, Rat Race has been won. It has been watched. It's a good movie.
It was still a fun time.
It's still a fun time. Not necessarily wholesome, but
I don't know why you said wholesome from the beginning.
I thought it was like a family-friendly movie, but like it
is family-friendly,
but it isn't. There was some funny bits in there, that I enjoyed. As dumb as it was, the heart bit, like one of the characters, is it Rowan
Atkinson.
Rowan Atkinson, I guess, finds somebody who's transporting a heart, and they have this whole heart bit. There was another bit about, like, one of the kids from... Man, I wish I knew all their names. This is terrible. But the family
John Lovitz and Kathy Najimy.
Yes, her kids wanted to stop somewhere, and they're gonna stop by the Barbie museum. And the joke is that it's not a like Barbie doll museum; it's Klaus Barbie, which is like a Nazi museum.
Yeah,
so
yeah. It's very uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. It was, it's kind of funny, but the joke to me felt like it was forced because they were in the middle of the museum tour. They would know that this is a Nazi museum tour.
Yeah, they would have known before they went in because Hitler's car is sitting outside.
Yeah, exactly.
And the minute you see that, you turn around.
You turn around. But they went in, did the whole bit. It goes right into it.
I mean, I guess we wouldn't have had the movie. So.
Yeah, no, of course. And then they steal the Hitler car, and they keep the swastika flags on it. And then he burns his lip with the cigarette starter.
Yeah, he burns his tongue so he can't speak right.
And then
they crash into a World War II
convention,
like ceremony with veterans and stuff.
So, and then he basically looks like Hitler. So the joke is funny because it's a big setup to get him to look like Hitler at a World War II ceremony. But I like the joke, but this seemed kind of like forced. Like it's like they had the joke. It's like, no, this has to make the movie. We have to get it in there.
It worked though. It was funny. My favorite thing was when Cuba Gooding Jr. steals the bus full of the Lucille balls.
Because they're going to a Lucille Ball convention.
Yeah, and just how they just stay in character the whole time. So even when the bus is like filling with bubbles and whatever because someone screwed up the toilet and spilt bubble cleaner, whatever, so there's bubbles everywhere.
Yeah.
And whatever else, they're still all acting like Lucy. And and when the when the bus gets a flat and they lose the tire and the bus falls over because it was on at like a weird angle, they all in unison do their
yeah, it was a
like
fun
Lucy
joke.
And it cracks me up because they all look like Lucy and they're doing these wonderful Lucy impersonations.
That was a good bit as well. I like that bit.
Definitely my favorite.
Kathy Bates was in it. She was like
totally forgot about her.
Crazy squirrel lady.
Mm-hmm.
And if people don't buy her squirrels, she gives you directions, but the directions leads to falling off a cliff. So Whoopi Goldberg and her daughter, fall off a cliff in the car, but then they fall in a pile of cars. So Kathy Bates has technically, I mean, not directly, but murdered a bunch of people because even a skeleton comes out.
Yeah.
And that's murder.
It's attempted murder, yeah. And same with the taxi guy who's pissed because he lost $20,000 on a bet, and Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character was a referee, and he did something stupid with the coin and threw a tantrum. And so because of it, his taxi driver lost $20,000. And then he drives Cuba out into the desert and leaves
them
there.
Like, if you left anybody in a desert, you're basically killing them.
Yeah,
that's
like yeah. So there was more attempted murder in this from outside characters that weren't in the race than I anticipated.
Yeah, like people willing to do it.
Yeah. And they weren't even racing for $2 million.
Mm-hmm.
They were just mad that they didn't buy a squirrel and they lost him $20,000. So
some petty stuff.
Yeah. Well, not the $20,000. I mean. And
then what was the guy who went with the helicopter woman? What's the actor's name or the character?
I forgot both.
Well, one of the characters finds a girl in the airport, and she's a helicopter pilot. And she's gotta fly towards the direction of where they need to go, which is Silver City. Oh yeah, I forgot. Like, the movie's about a bunch of rich people they're the owner of the casino, and they just like making bets. So this whole race is to see who they're betting on who's gonna win the race.
Yeah, didn't we talk about that in the beginning?
All right, cut this
read
out.
The synopsis.
But they also did a lot of bets in between. Like
there were it just goes to show you like how much people don't need excessive amounts of money.
They were betting like which maid can hold on to the curtains the longest. They were betting how
much the prostitute was going to charge them for
a Pepto-Bismol jacuzzi butt waxing experience.
Yeah. What else? They bet on a couple.
Oh, and then the other one was who would vomit first when their private jet
the turbulence of the plane. Yeah.
But anyway, going back to the helicopter, he like lies to her, like, "Oh yeah, my sister is, in the hospital for shark bites." I'm like, you could have just told her that the whole situation. I mean, he did afterwards, but once again, it just felt because he made a joke about it being a shark unit in the middle of New Mexico.
Yeah.
It still felt like it felt like they were forcing in a joke, which is fine. The movie was still funny though.
Yeah. It was still absurd though when he's in the helicopter with her, she's like, "Oh, we're just gonna make a quick stop and say hi to my boyfriend," and then she finds out that her boyfriend's cheating, and she goes crazy. She absolutely loses it and like chases him down with the helicopter and throws paint on his car and a fire extinguisher and chases him off the road so he crashes.
She said she broke 114 laws though.
Yes, yeah. And it was just, it was really like all the red flags are up at this point. And the guy that's with her in the helicopter, whatever his name is, I keep forgetting the character and the actor.
Yeah, we're not doing a good job here.
No. He's still like, "Oh yeah, like I guess I'm still gonna use her to get to the money because I want this money." But in the end, he like kisses her.
Yeah, so
I guess he still likes her.
Yeah.
But she's bananas.
She's pretty crazy, yeah. But maybe not crazy, just very impulsive and doesn't... She just left her helicopter in the middle of the desert running away from cops.
Yeah, and the cops were after them, and they would have seen her when she decided to take her boyfriend, or I guess now ex-boyfriend's car. Mm-hmm. They would have been able to catch up to her, but we totally just skipped out on that, and we're like, oh, that's over and done with.
Right.
So... I don't know, but yeah, even though he, I guess, is still, at this point, he's just still using her to get to the money, at the end, he still likes her.
He fell in love.
And, love, quote unquote. They've only known each other for a day, but he doesn't let, those were terrible red flags, like, just... You don't fall for that person. You convince yourself, even if you are falling for that person, you tell yourself, you're like, "Oh, but remember the whole helicopter debacle?"
It's basically if you're hanging out with a girl and she's driving and then she goes to like her boyfriend's house, but then she finds out she's cheating and then she runs him off the road and then gets him into a car accident, takes him out, steals his car, and you're just following along. You're like, "Yeah, this girl's it. I'm good. I love this girl."
Yeah, it's just too much. Like, do you want to deal with that? Because there is potential of that in your future. Even if you guys don't, even if you didn't cheat on her, even if you got married and everything was all, hunky-dory, whatever, like, I don't know. There's still some possibility of her snapping over who knows what.
And then the scene where your brother, he saw the side boob. Yep, it was side boob. So the whole lead up to that is like, they're driving next to, there's two convertibles.
Yeah, you got Seth Green and his brother in one convertible, and the girl is in the other convertible.
And they're just basically showing off their piercings until she escalates it to showing her nipple piercings, and her nipple piercings are like attached to chains that are attached to both nipples, maybe. And then they veer off the road, stuff. And yeah, I mean, as a young boy, I'd been like, "Look at that side boob, there it is."
If I was her though, I would have been like, so in the end they meet up again, so she knows obviously that they didn't die, but she saw them, I'm assuming, get, him lose control of the car and run off the road, and if she never saw him again, like, would she just have thought like, "Oh, I killed them. I ran them off the road. That's my fault because I flashed them in my boobs." Mm-hmm. Like, would she feel guilty about this? Like, I would feel guilty about that for the rest of my life. Especially not knowing what actually happened to them.
Right.
Doesn't matter because they see each other in the end and they, I don't know, I guess live happily ever after, whatever.
Yeah. Another joke in there that was funny is like they were the family with the kids. They're not gonna stop or do any pit stops, so the daughter has to poop out the window, and then the poop.
I talked about that in the beginning too. So what else? Oh, Rowan Atkinson, his whole adventure. I don't understand how, I mean, okay, it's a movie, and clearly this movie isn't supposed to be believable.
But there wouldn't be a podcast if we didn't do this.
Yes. When he is running away from, I can't think of the actor's name, whatever, but the guy that's transporting the heart, and because he thinks that they've ruined the heart that they're transporting, he's like, "Oh, I need to find a drifter," and he's convinced himself that he's going to cut open Rowan Atkinson because he realizes that he has no family. And
attempted murder.
Yes, another one, and again, not by somebody who's after the $2 million.
Just a random person who's willing to do it.
3 people that were willing to.
Just does she know? People in Vegas apparently are ready to kill.
Or New Mexico, don't know where they were
exactly
at this point. But yeah, he does the whole like, oh, look over there, and he turns around and Rowan Atkinson runs and then jumps onto a train, and it wasn't like a cargo car or whatever on a train where like the big doors are open and he jumped into it. It was like a bullet train. Like, this was moving people, there was no open doors whatsoever, and yet the next time we see him, he's sitting on this train,
sleeping. Fine. Oh no, fine. Yeah, no, not sleeping.
Next to a baby and the baby's parents. It's not possible.
We're like, yeah, this is so the science doesn't work. And what's interesting is his accent, because he's from Napoli, and I'm like, what's Napoli? Have you ever heard of Napoli? Or Napoli? Like Monopoly?
We're sounding like a bunch of bumpkins right now.
Bumpkins?
Uncultured swine.
Google
I don't know, Italy?
Let's see where Napoli is. He is from...
Pretty sure Italy. He didn't sound Italian, though.
He did.
And I love how he's the one that gets to the money first. Because of that fast train, he was able to jump aboard.
Yeah, so he's Italian. Napoli is a... place in the... Yeah, he has narcolepsy.
Yes, yeah. So in the beginning he falls asleep, and then again when he falls asleep was when he gets to the locker first.
He got there first. He put the key in and everything.
Yeah, and he just falls asleep before he actually turned the key and got the money. So I'm like, oh.
What's neat is, for the movie, everybody made it to the place that it needed to be at the same
time. Yeah. Despite everybody's different adventure, because everybody had their hang-ups throughout the whole entire thing, you know.
And one took a private jet. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah. I think the one thing that I didn't super love about this movie was all the abuse to the animals.
Yeah, there was a lot of abuse. They killed a dog.
Yeah.
There was a cow hanging from its leg on the air balloon.
From an air balloon, yeah. There was another one. Wasn't there another animal?
Cow, dog.
Cow and the dog.
Squirrels.
There was something else. Okay, well, I mean, the dog was enough. The dog was electrocuted by an electric fence. So they didn't actually, like, kill the dog, but...
But it's funny that dogs die.
No. Not at all. So I just felt bad for that cow. I know it was supposed to be funny, like when the cow falls into a car and they're fighting over the money because the bag of money is in the car and the cow's in the front seat and the car they were about to hit like a truck or something. Like wasn't their car was going to hit something?
Yeah, the cow was going through a cow field.
No. When the cow was in the car, wasn't the car going to hit something?
Oh man, what was it gonna hit? Yeah, and then the cow. It's so funny. That cow makes the cow's in the driver's seat, and the cow's holding the steering wheel, and it's making a face.
It looks like it's driving.
It literally looks like a similar cow from Twister.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. So
it's like a comedic cow.
So yeah, so I get it. It's funny and just stupid, but I really felt for that cow. It was hanging from the air balloon.
Soft spot for the animal.
For a very long time. I felt for him or her because it's a cow. Whatever. What else was there? Whoopi and her daughter stealing the. Is it Mach 5? Is that what that's called? What are those things called?
So basically, like, rocket scientists from LA, so I'm assuming people from JPL, they were trying to break the land speed record with, like, a car that has 2 jet engines in it. And they steal it, and then they, I guess, get some distance. They reach Mach 1.
Yeah. Someone shoots a bullet, and
Whoopi Goldberg looks
next to them. It's stupid.
It's like
but it's funny.
It is pretty funny. Going Mach 1, looking to your right, and outside your window you see a bullet just flying through the air with you.
You all are on par, yeah. But just how easy it was for them to get away with that. Again, I know this is all for the movie, but it was obnoxious.
It was
like people were watching them, as the audience members were watching them take it as they were getting into it and getting ready to leave. And because they were not prepared for what it was going to feel like
they actually probably more likely died.
Yeah, right. Died. Like, or at least been severely injured because they wouldn't have had like their necks or heads back.
We're so fun with comedy movies. We're like,
this is all wrong.
Let's get the physics equations out here, and we'll figure out what really happened.
Yeah, but they would have injured themselves somehow. Instead of just like once they finally stopped, they just got out and they were all like wobbly, vertigo.
And coincidentally, a bus of people from an asylum were there, and then they got scooped in by the bus.
Yes. Which, I mean, lucky for them was going to the place they needed to go to, so...
It all worked out.
It worked out, yeah. What else was there? Talk about the museum, Mach 5.
Everybody's art, yeah. All the rich people.
The heart. Yeah. It really was just baffling, though, those rich guys. And just the stupid things they'd bet on. Because they're just bored of betting normally. Or they're just bored with all their money.
Yeah, that's what you do when you're rich. You make the dumbest bets. You're like, which grain of sand would they find?
Yeah. But then so the ending of the movie, the thing that we couldn't remember is who actually wins, is they end up crashing with the money onto a stage, and
it's none other
than our world's saviors
in 2001 Smash Mouth. I can't believe it basically ends with Smash Mouth. Like Smash Mouth is the finale of a movie. Like
yeah, they were top of their game though. Shrek really put them on the map. And All Star was just in every movie after that. But it's a charity concert for Feed the World, and there's a whole miscommunication, and they think that they're donating the $2 million to charity. And of course everybody, they hesitate because everybody really wanted this money after they all decided that they were going to split it amongst each other, which they all just should have done in the beginning.
Right, they could have worked together, all had like $270K.
Yeah, which is still a lot of money. They could put down payments on houses.
And at the end they all end up donating the money. Like they all agree except for like what's his name? Green?
Seth Green.
Green.
He's very hesitant, but they all do it because they're not garbage humans, and because I think mainly because they're in the spotlight, and if they didn't do it, everybody's gonna know that they're garbage.
Man, they could have said like, "Oh, just kidding. You heard 2 million. We meant 1 million," and then just split 1 million amongst each other.
They could have.
But yeah, it's about being righteous. Is that what that's about? You win money from rich people and give it to the poor?
No, I think it's just because they were on the spot and then they just had to go with it.
But at the end, they all have a glimmer in their eye with like, this is the right thing to do. And they were fine,
yeah. Everybody's happy. But what got me is that the rich people obviously followed them there because they're like, oh, this has changed course of our original plans, so we have to go follow the money. And the guy that set up the whole thing and all of his colleagues are there, and they're like behind stage, right, or side stage, whatever, and one of the members of the rat race is like, oh, and this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for blah blah blah, and he thanks the rich guy and all of his colleagues, and then he tells everybody, he's like, and you should be super happy because they're going to match whatever it is you guys raised tonight. So,
I wonder if that includes the $2 million,
money.
Right?
Yes, it was just everything. And then, of course, Smash Mouth is like, oh, that's wonderful. So everybody start calling. But when you see the rich people, they're so devastated. They don't want to give any of this money to charity, but they are more than happy to give their money to each other and bet on which maid can hang from the curtain the longest and give them all that money for that. But they can't give $2 million to charity. They can't match this and look like good people.
Right? This is an anti-elitist movie. No.
This is very upsetting. It just was. I mean, I guess it's realistic because I feel like obviously that stereotype or this archetype of person exists. Mm-hmm. It comes from somewhere, but it's just infuriating.
It is,
especially when you're watching. You just see this whole movie and all the shenanigans that these rich people are getting in. Well, they're not getting into shenanigans, but all the things that they're betting money on and how stupid it is, and the money just goes between themselves. They're just filtering the money within their own community.
Yeah, and they're betting lots of money. If I were them, since they're so rich, why not just bet $1? Everybody, like, dollar bets, penny bets. I think it would have been even more elitist to do that.
Oh, definitely, because then you're solely just doing it for the entertainment.
Yes.
You're not even, it's not about the money. Which, I mean, I guess to them, it's still not about the money, because they're so rich that the money that they are betting is probably the equivalent of us betting $1 for that type of thing. But you just really, I mean, you already hate these rich people because they're rich, but...
They got big, shiny teeth. They laugh hard.
Yeah. You hate them even more once you realize their reactions to having to donate to charity.
And that's the moral. Smash Mouth will save the day.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it.
All right, on to the quick bits. The trivia.
So, trivia. During the hot air balloon chase, the first cow Dwayne Cody bumps into has a map of the world on its side, made from its own spots. Well, I'm really upset that I didn't notice that. That's funny.
Wait, we'll say it again?
So, the first cow that they bump into, you know, when they're driving in the cow field or whatever, the first one that he hits is the map of the world on its side.
Wow.
Made out of its spots.
That's funny.
Right?
I wonder why they did that.
Because it's funny.
Okay.
You just said it's funny. Why would they?
No, it's funny as, like, interesting choice.
I think probably...
To do that.
Because it's...
If I was on set, I was like, you know what would be cool on this cow? The world map.
Maybe it's something that would look, like, it's easy to get away with, like you...
Getting it past... putting in an Easter egg.
Yeah. Like, it still looks normal. A deleted scene further exaggerated the gambling habits of Sinclair and his associates. The scene featured them playing Monopoly with real money.
That's pretty funny.
Right? I wish they had left that one in there. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character is based on a real-life referee. Rat Race has an extremely similar plot to the film. It's a mad, was that enough mads?
World.
Four mads world, in which a group of strangers are caught up in a mad dash to seek out and claim $350,000
chump change
in cash. That amount adjusted in inflation from 1963 to 2001 would come out approximately to $2 million. The same amount of money Donald Sinclair offered to the 6 random gamblers.
They did the math.
Right, that's interesting. Whether or not this was intentionally written into script as an homage to the 1963 film is unknown. I feel like that has to have been an homage. Like,
it's too accurate.
Right? I mean, unless it was just a coincidence and somebody was just like, $2 million. That would be...
Right.
She's playing... I don't know. I'm going to say they did that on purpose. The scene in the movie where Cuba Gooding Jr. flips the coin at the football game was filmed in Calgary, Alberta, before a CFL game for the Calgary Stampeders. For all you sports buffs.
That's pretty cool. So you don't have to, like, CG an audience. You're
It's
like,
already there.
We'll just get a normal audience and we'll record a scene.
Yeah. Director Jerry Zucker's mother plays the elderly Lucille Ball impersonator. It's cute.
Who? Oh, the director's mother?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Plays the older Lucy.
She probably loved Lucy, because old people love it. No, I'm kidding.
You're offending our audience. Just
Old
kidding,
people.
there's no audience.
All 3 of you out there, please write your favorite episode of Lucy down below.
Yes.
I love Lucy.
Do you have a favorite episode of Lucy?
Yeah, I like the episode.
You never watched it.
I never watched it.
Okay. Rowan Atkinson's character, who's an Italian tourist, was originally going to be a Chinese diplomat.
I think it's fine the way it is. He's from Napoli.
Yeah. I feel like if it was a Chinese diplomat, maybe things would have come across a little more offensive. I don't think they would have done it right.
More room for stereotypical Asian jokes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm glad that it wasn't. Pro wrestler Dallas Page had a cameo in the movie that was cut when test audiences failed to give his appearance any reaction. On a highway location, while traffic was clearing, the motorist would rubberneck to see who the star was. One day, Cuba Gooding Jr. decided to moon the motorist driving by.
Oh, somebody saw Cuba's butt.
What a daredevil.
I mean, they're like, and I remember it forever.
Writer Andy Breckman came up with the idea of the bus full of Lucy impersonators after reading an article in a tabloid about an I Love Lucy convention.
I think it's a pretty good joke.
It is, yeah. And it definitely makes sense for there to be a convention of that. Like, especially
convention for everything,
yeah. The script originally called for one tour guide in the Barbie Museum, but Jerry Zucker liked the pair, who ultimately made it into the film so much that he split the role.
Oh, had to share screen time. He could have had it all by himself. But, like, we're gonna split your pay too.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Nah, they probably didn't do that. But yeah, it's a funny Nazi museum theme.
As funny as Nazis can be.
As funny as Nazis can be. Also, we can't escape Nazis, huh? Like, there's just Nazis in everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is back from 2001.
2001. Nazis are just easy, I guess.
Yeah. The film features 3 Oscar winners: Cuba Gooding Jr. for Best Supporting Actor and Jerry Maguire, Whoopi Goldberg, Best Supporting Actress for Ghost, and Kathy Bates, Best Actress for Misery.
Nice.
Kathy and Whoopi both won their Oscars the same year.
Nice.
Jason Alexander was originally lined up to play Zach before his Seinfeld castmate Wayne Knight took the role. That's who. I couldn't remember his name. Wayne Knight. He's the
heart transport.
Yeah.
He would have been Carranza. Costanza.
George Costanza.
George Costanza.
Yeah. It would have been Jason Alexander.
That's so funny. They do feel like they'll be in a similar role. Like they could both fit that role.
Yeah. DVD extras include unplanned, unscripted, recorded phone calls to the main stars of the movie from Jerry Zucker and Andy Breckman, who are sitting in a sound studio working on an audio commentary for the movie. Jerry and Andy said it was simply something they came up with because they were trying to find things to include on the DVD. That's so funny because, like, DVDs, Blu-rays and things, a lot of them nowadays don't even have, like, a whole lot of special features. And here the director and the writer of the film were like, oh, let's, what are we going to put on the features?
We got to make it worth $20.
Yeah. Whereas, and nowadays they're like, I don't know, here's some concept art. Maybe.
Right?
Here's a music video.
I actually don't remember the last time I've seen a director's commentary on a movie that wasn't like a movie that's came out like more than 10 years ago or less than 10 years ago.
There's one on Detective Pikachu.
Oh, there was. I take it all back. I guess we just gotta buy more Blu-rays. They have the commentaries.
Yeah. Or just watch them. I'm sure we have other things that we just
honestly,
never looked
they
into.
should provide the commentary as like an MP3 for most movies, so people can just play it and then watch it at the same time. Like I don't wanna like for streaming. Oh wait, never mind. What I'm saying is, I wish it would include director's commentary in streaming services.
Like,
so when
like
I go to Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime, there's English, French, hard of hearing, and then director's commentary. That's all. That's all.
That's not a bad idea. Call them up. This is Netflix. You're greenlit.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, for an extra $4.99 though.
Yeah. Never mind. But that'd be cool though. I don't know.
Because they're gone. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Gotta buy the whole Blu-ray because they don't. Yeah, there are some Blu-rays that they sell that don't even have anything on it. It's just the movie. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So for these two guys to sit there and like, well, it sounds like they like really rattled their brains to figure out what to put on, and then today there's nothing. But I like that idea of it being on streaming services.
Just somewhere. Like, how hard is it for somebody to sit down and talk through their movie?
Yeah.
How hard is it to get a director to sit down and talk through the movie?
I feel like they'd want to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
It's their art, their work. Why would they not want to go on about it? I don't know. Whatever. Professor Ken Friedman, mentioned in the speech by the jet car driver before the women steal the car, is a reference to Ken Friedman, the station manager of WFMU, where the writer and he do a weekly radio show. 7-second delay.
Okay, kind of a fun fact, kind of like, oh well.
Yeah, I don't really care. Jerry Goldsmith had originally been selected to score the movie, but had to drop out at the last minute due to health reasons.
No.
These aren't fun.
They're definitely not fun facts.
These
These are welcome to Sad Facts.
Right. This is the 5th known film in which Whoopi Goldberg and Kathy Najimy both had roles. A couple of these films they starred in together, besides this one, was Sister Act and its sequel, which we know that.
Check those out.
Yeah. Dean Cain plays a character named Sean Kent. This is a reference to Cain's most famous role as Superman / Clark Kent.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's fun. I like that one. Abdul Gonzanobi? I think that's how you pronounce it.
Abdul Gonzanobi.
Yes. Of old school and high school fame was an extra. There's a cameo. He's in the background wearing a light green shirt as Nick checks out of the hotel in Vegas.
Kind of fun, but I don't know who that is.
I don't know. I haven't seen high school, high, or old school in a very long time. When the dog is on the electric fence with the heart in its mouth. The heart appears to have fuzz written on it. Later, when Wayne Knight is holding it, there appears to be a small face on it.
Like somebody drew on the heart?
I guess the props people just had fun. That sad scene. That poor dog.
Yeah, Chris did not like the dog dying.
And you did? You liked the dog dying?
I'm just saying that...
You're sick. Just kidding.
I'm just saying that if it moves the plot forward, kill all the dogs. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, they didn't have to. They could have got that heart back a different way.
But do you see how the dog had his hands up, electrocuted?
Yeah,
it's
funny.
Comical. Dead dogs.
When Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character is sitting at the bar, the gentleman next to him can be seen looking at him, but trying to look forward. Okay?
Fun. An extra couldn't do his job?
I guess. I guess that's what they're telling me. It's dumb. No part of this movie was filmed in New Mexico, as this was filmed prior to the Hollywood boom in New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
There's a Hollywood boom in New Mexico?
Oh, wow. No, yeah, I don't know. I would have thought they would shoot it in New Mexico. But I guess the Hollywood boom would be, like they give tax cuts there. So then...
Did that happen? That's a thing.
I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of the history of film taxes.
You're supposed to.
I'm a film connoisseur.
Yes.
Not a film business connoisseur.
You want to be in the biz, though.
Yeah.
You need to know the biz.
Look, I know how to cook. I don't know where the stove came from. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Fair.
I didn't think that metaphor would get me through.
I'll let it slide. This is the second film that both Whoopi and Rowan have starring roles in. The first being Lion King.
Nice.
Who does he play in The Lion King?
Wait, who?
Rowan Atkinson?
Maybe one of the hyenas with Whoopi?
No. Hold on. No. Oh, he's Zazu. Duh, we knew that. That was a test, you guys.
So Zazu is Rowan Atkinson, also known as Bean.
That was a test, you guys. We knew that. Though.
Actually, I would say I didn't know that. And I can hear the gasp in our 4 audience members. But yeah, I just don't pay attention to actors in animated movies because I
didn't know that.
I'm a piece of shit. So.
No, because I didn't know it. No.
It's good to have a human face to the animal face in Lion King.
When Tracy drags her boyfriend out of the truck and drives off in it after making him crash, you can clearly see that there are 2 seatbelts for the driver and front passenger. The truck is an extended cab Dodge Ram, which has the seatbelt upper mounts on the pillars behind the doors. The front seat came from a quad cab Dodge Ram, which required the seatbelts to be mounted completely within the seats due to the way the rear doors open. This seems really complicated, and they could have just used a truck, right? Like, they didn't have to use a truck hybrid weird
I bet you
thing.
they had to, mount the camera, the big-ass camera that's a film camera in there, or some BS. But some trucker out there noticed. He's like, those seats are from a 2004 truck Ram cabin.
Right.
I'm going to send him a letter right now.
Alright, our last trivia. Even if the police officer were to arrest anyone in the movie, he has no cage that separates the front and back seats in the police car. I didn't notice that, but that's, yeah, you can't really do much.
Yeah, not a real police car.
Yeah, so
overall, I think the movie's pretty good. It holds up. 2001 ends with Smash Mouth. I liked it. There was only one use of the R word, which is pretty good for a, 2000 movie.
Yeah.
It was a fun romp. Nah, that's just what people say in critiques. But it was good. Like I said,
it was a fun time.
Everybody had their little adventure. Everybody had their own style of humor. It was like getting 7 comedians in one room to do fun things. It's not like the greatest of movies, but it's also...
But it's just stupid fun.
It's just stupid fun. You kind of turn off your brain and you're like...
Yeah.
Ha ha ha, what are they gonna do next? And then you try not to think about Nazis, but then there's Nazis in it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun. It's fun. Like I said, yeah, it's stupid. And there's a lot you gotta let go. But if you ain't doing nothing, or if you just want something funny in the background, you can put this on, because I'm sure every time you look up, there'll be something remotely entertaining on. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely say give it a watch.
Yeah, it was fun. Still fun. But yeah, it's just not... Don't go in there expecting the world.
It's the best C+ you'll ever get.
There you go. That's a fair...
Yeah, it's good.
Rating. So that's it. The rat race has passed, has been approved, has been thumbs up.
Stamped. Nostalgia Rewinded approved.
Yeah. Check it out. Check out our other videos. Or, other
podcast episodes. We cover a lot of different movies. Please leave us suggestions because we're just picking them out of a hat right now.
Yeah. We would love to take your requests.
Please.
And, comments, questions, whatever. Email us, comments, let us know. Whatever. Just say hi. I'm rambling now. It doesn't matter.
See you next time.
Bye.